Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dustin Ribellini. And Dustin, it's getting warm around here,
yes.
And it's a lot warmer down in Florida where spring training is heating up. We've talked about the Red Sox, and we'll get into the American League East and the American League as a whole a little bit down the road as things start to take shape. But first off, World Baseball Classic. I believe the games start Monday. A lot of the teams are sending their players, some begrudgingly, some volunteering. Just what is your point of view on the World Baseball Classic and the timing of it and the whole thing?
I think it's a good concept. I think the concept is there. We see it. The basketball has the Olympics. Obviously, hockey has their tournament too. I forget the exact name of it.
Yeah.
But we also see the FIBA tournament of the Americas in basketball too. I like the concept. I just don't think the timing's right, because what it does is it forces pitchers especially to throw pitches that they aren't used to throwing that early. Throw big stress pitches in game situations. Sure, in spring training they get their work, but they only throw 2 or 3 innings at a time. Right. Now you're asking a starter who really hasn't thrown in big situations a lot to throw 5 or 6 innings in a meaningful game. It also gets them away from their team. Now, granted, baseball is not a sport where there's a lot of X's and O's.
It's not as much gelling.
Right, it's not as much gelling, but it's still nice to be around your teammates. I think if they could find a way to get it maybe more towards at the end of the season after the World Series. I know teams that play all season could be worn out. I just think it might be a little more receptive for the fans, as opposed to going to spring training for a week, then leaving your team for 3 weeks, then you come back, you only have 10 days before the season starts. It's hard to get that chemistry amongst teammates.
Yeah, and I agree with the point that the concept is good, and it is the point of it is to build baseball and build the brand around the world, and show the other countries some of their players who might not be able to play in major leagues and get the exposure. So I think it's a good program and a good concept. But you're right, it's kind of hard, and the pitchers are the big thing, as you mentioned, because it's so early. I mean, do they? I think the end of the season would be good. Is there any chance that they would take time off in the middle of the season, kind of like hockey does? I know it's a completely different animal, but how hockey does it, they take some time off, I think, if it's for the Winter Olympics.
Right.
And maybe shorten the season. So first of all, you don't have 162 games, you have 154. That's been talked about, and I think that's going to happen at some point. And then in the middle of the summer, you take 2 weeks off. Maybe that's a better way to do it?
The only way I see them moving it to the middle of the season is yes, they're going to have to shorten the season, and I don't think 154 is short enough. Because to take 2 weeks off, I know you can play 8 games in 2 weeks. I think you're going to need more time, because these teams, USA, Dominican, the Netherlands, they need time to practice together too.
Right.
So it's not just, hey, we're going to take 2 weeks off and send you to the World Baseball Classic. It's going to have to be more like a month off. So I think you'd have to see the season shortened to more of that 135, 140 number. I do think it's going to go to that 154. I just don't know if it's going to go that much down to 140.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, because you can't do it at the beginning.
Right.
Even at the end,
a lot of guys are worn out. They're not going to want to play.
They don't want to play. You're right. First of all, you've got all the playoff teams. So the 8 playoff teams or whatever, they're not going to want to play.
Right.
They're not going to be able to play. The season's going into November as is. And then you've got teams who don't want to send players. The players don't want to play. So really,
the best chance to get the best talent would be middle of the season. It's just, can the World Baseball Classic work with MLB and figure out a way to get structured? Because you can't extend the season any longer. You can't still do 162 games and take 3 weeks off in the middle of the season. We'll be going until December.
That's true. Okay, so another thing that might take some time in the middle of the summer are the Olympics. Baseball's back in the Olympics for 2020. I don't know how long that will last. I don't know if anybody knows how long. That's going to be the same type of problem. Who's going to be playing in these games? Is it college? Are they going to send maybe minor leaguers? Maybe take some time off in the AAA and AA season? Because that's going to happen.
Right.
That's not a what
That's
if.
already in place.
Right.
Yep.
What would be the best way to do that, do you think? Or what are they going to do?
I think your best bet, I think to start, you're going to see amateurs play. Because it's not going to be like the NBA where you can't just leave your team.
Right.
So I think the amateurs are going to start to play, maybe integrate down the road some minor league professionals and get the amateurs out of it. But again, our team's going to want their high prospects going to play in a tournament that really doesn't have to do anything to do with MLB. So I think you're going to see amateurs play, and I would like to see the college players play, because we don't really hear about guys like Mike Trout, but we never see them play till they get to the major leagues. So I think it'd be a great way for baseball to get more exposure to that young talent, because let's face it, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, we heard their names 5 years ago, but we never saw them play.
Right, and a guy like David Price pitching for Vanderbilt, you only see them at the College World Series.
Couple times a year.
It's not as college baseball obviously is not as popular as some of the other college sports, So it'll be interesting to see. But that's coming up in a few years,
Yep.
and we'll see how Major League Baseball handles that. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some football. The offseason is in full gear. We have franchise tags being handed out, the combine's coming up, and then the draft is later. So we'll take a break. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.